Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. I thought today we would have a little bit of fun doing something that I saw online recently and thought, oh, that looked really quite fun. So I thought, well, I'll take it and change it around a bit and see if I can do it the way, you know, that will work. And this is what I've sort of come up with, and hopefully it will. You need some circles, so I have just literally cut 3 different sizes of circles out of 2 different sheets of paper, because we're going to be doing some bubbles on here, and so I wanted 3 different sizes. I've used punches, you can use dies, you can use whatever you've got. If you haven't got any, then you can literally just go around little shapes that you've got that are circular at home, and use a craft knife to go around if you haven't got anything circular. So we are going to start down here at the bottom, I think, and let's take that sort of fairly near on the edge, and I am using a bright green. So you want sort of bright colours, but you want several of them. So this is a bright green. I've got a soft yellow, and I've got some sponge daubers that will coordinate. I've got a pale purpley colour, and I've got a pinky colour. Again, use what you've got, use what inks you've got. You don't need any special tools or anything here at all. So let me just get my sponge daubers in where they want to go. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? And I'm just going to take, I think I want to have this purple up at the top. Now we do need to dab it off a little bit, because we want it to come fairly bright, but we don't want it so bright that it counteracts with everything else. So I'm then going to take let's take the yellow, I think. Bring that in on here. Blend that in. And the green, which is a really lovely, bright, vibrant green. Like that, and then I think I'm going to do the pink maybe down in between here. Okay, so I'm going to take that off, and you've got a really rather nice looking bubble. I'm going to take a little one down on here, and again I'm going to take, I'm not going to even re-ink on this. Whoops. Need to get that in so that it's straight, don't I? Because I'd only just started. So I'm going to take the purple again. A little bit on there. I might take the red next to the purple, because I don't want to get it too grubby looking. A little bit bright. We want this green. You want to try and do it so that it's not slipped just a little bit, but hopefully it'll be all right. It's because I'm right down on this corner. I don't want it to be too bright in here, and then we'll just have the little bit of yellow, I think, coming in on here. Let's take that off. There we are, I've got another one. So you've got them all in sort of bright colours, which I think are quite fun. This is a middle-sized one, so we'll put this one in on here. We'll take that down like that. So let's have the red at the top. Then we'll have let's have the yellow next to it, because the yellow will give like an orange. Then we can have the green. We can have this purple. Like that. Let's take that off and see what that looks like. There we are. I see they're looking really rather good, aren't they? Okay, let's have a larger one. So we want some to sort of come off as well. So let's have one that's going to come off a little bit like that. Take the purple down in on here. It's quite fun using these colours. I quite like them together. They seem to work quite nicely. The red, and we'll have the yellow, like that, and then we'll have the green. Sorry, I was going quiet because I was getting into these really nice colours. I think they work really quite nicely, and you can do them as pale as you want or as dark. So this is coming up a little bit brighter. And then I think I'm going to have, there's a little one, isn't there? I don't know whether I'm going to have too much actually on the little one, but let's take that where the green is. And the yellow. And the purple. And a little bit of the red. So you're literally just going to work your way through on this, which I think is quite fun. And do I want another one sort of off on there? Do I want another middling one? I think I want another large one, because those large ones are quite nice, but that's going to come off the edge again a bit, because I don't want too much on there, because we're going to add some fun things on here, I think. So we'll have this down the bottom with the yellow next to it. And then we'll have the green, because the green is so nice and vibrant. I'll take it just off the edge of the page like that. Okay, so we've got these lovely sort of fun looking rainbow effect bubbles. And now what we want to do is we want to have something that's going to sit on the bubbles, which is going to be quite fun. So I was looking through all of the different things that I had, and I thought, I don't know quite what I want to have sitting on my bubbles. I've got to have something that looks as if it's sort of sitting on it rather than just abstract. So I have found, where's the stamp set? Here it is. So this is one that was a while ago called Bird Banter, and it's got these cute little birds, and I thought, oh, those birds will actually sit quite nicely on top of. So I've got one out, and I thought, I think I'm going to put this one up here actually, but I think that this one, although he's quite big, isn't he? I don't know whether he's going to be a bit too big for what I want. Let me have a look and see with the other ones, because there's quite a few nice little birds in here. I'm going to take them out and see which one I think is going to fit on there, because I think, again, it then allows it to be a nice set that will work for a lot of people. So, you know, anybody who enjoys pretty birds, but also So I want to have it so that I can have him sitting there actually, couldn't I? I'm just going to place them out a bit and see. This is a little one, so I can have this. Okay, that can come up on there. Doesn't matter on where it is on there, because that's going to be, how about this one? That one might actually work there, because that one you can't have one on top of. So little bird in on there, little bird out on there. This is a big one, which I think is probably going to be too big on. I quite like maybe him on here. He's got to sit on the bottom, hasn't he? So he's going to have to go in on there. Half his beak's going to come off. That's fine, I think. That little one, as I say, it's going to be too high up there. This one is too big, I think. Little bird down on there. And is this little one going to come that way? Yeah. So I think we could probably have, I'm trying to work out which one I want. Maybe that one. We don't need to have them all in there, do we? So one on there, and maybe one just in on there. Don't need to have them in on all of them, do we? Okay, I'm going to try that, I think. So let's take this little one here. I'm going to do it in, because I'm going to colour them in some alcohol markers. So I'm going to use a water-based ink. So, hey, it's me throwing it upside down. I'm going to use a Memento. Hopefully I didn't get it all over my hands. Where was I going to put this one? On there. I think down on there, wasn't I? So we want the little bird to sit so his little feet are on the balloon. Ah, you see, that works perfectly, doesn't it? Right. Okay, so that's one. Then we need to have this one can go in on there. So that can go in like that. Oh, that didn't stamp out very well, did it? I wonder if I can get it in again. Probably not. No, it's going to come out. I'm going to have to just draw that in a bit, I think, and it's only because I haven't used this set for such a long time. I should have really inked it up again, shouldn't I? And then we'll have this little one writing up at the top. So let me just make sure that I'm inking that up nicely. If it hasn't been inked for a while, take it in that way first and then that way, and then this one can go in on top of this like that. Okay, so we've got three little birds balancing on the bubbles, and I can then turn round and give them a bit of a colour. So I'm just going to put those back in on here. Now this is quite sweet, isn't it? A little birdie told me it's your birthday. You're the kind of friend I'd share my branch with. Obviously it wasn't an early bird, just a little toucan. Okay, not sure word-wise on this. I'm going to leave it for a second till I think about it a bit more. But I just need to colour this in. Now, you can see how that has gone a little bit, hasn't stamped very well. We can rectify that. If you have a fine black marker, which I have, we'll use that. And then we want some colours for the bird. So I want a green. Let's have a green and what colours I've even got here. Okay, I've got greens for the bird, and I think we'll have blue as well. because those little birds tend to be green and blue, don't they? So we've got blue, and then this one is it's probably just a creamy colour, isn't it? What can we have as a cream? Or let's have see if I've got a pale pink blush colour in that one. That might work. Let's see what that is. I'm going to have to just put it out a minute to see how pink that is. That might work actually. Let's have the dark for its feathers up in here. Oh, now I was going to just sort this out, wasn't I? So in this is the fine, so I can then take this down on there. And this makes it, I'm not talking because I'm trying to concentrate, but it allows you to then take in the parts that didn't stamp out very well and take them in, and you know that it's going to come out beautifully. Okay, so there we go. So I think I want, whoops, that was the dark one, wasn't it? So we need to sort of maybe have dark underneath on this one, and let's take the pale on the other bit and we'll blend that through. So I'm just colouring this through. Down on here. So I'm going to do a little bit more dark in here, I think. So we need, that was coming down, so this piece needs to be darker under here. This dark as well in on this bit. Just giving that a little bit of colour. And I think the beak is going to be yellow, because I think the beak should be yellow. I'm not sure whether this particular beak should be yellow, but it's going to be yellow in my little world. So it might not be perfectly the right colour, but that'll work. Okay, so I then wanted blue, didn't I? So one little budgie's going to be blue, one's going to be green. I think I'm going to have the blue at the top. So let's take this, which is a pale. And we can take the whole thing in pale, can't we? Now, I probably should have used the colours that I used for the bubbles, but I don't think it matters that much. So I'm just going to take the little bird in like this, like that. So that's the light, and then we can just have the dark, wait for it to dry a minute, and then I'm going to have the light on here for the other bird, which is this little one. It's quite a nice one. These are little budgerigars. I used to have a neighbour who used to keep budgerigars. She loved her little budgerigars. There we go, that's the pale. So now we just need a little bit of dark. So let's do the dark on the blue first. So we'll take the that'll work. And then we'll have a little bit of green, which is the dark. And that can go in again. We'll just have the dark bit in under here. Like that. Pin underneath on here. Gives it a little bit of dark. And then all I need to do is to take the light again on here, because that's quite a dark colour, so you need to blend that through a little bit more, otherwise it'll stand out a little bit less. Now once that's dried, that'll be all right. Now I just want some yellow for the beaks, like that. There we are. So we've now got our bubbles with our little birds on, which I think look quite cute. And I do want to put a little sentiment on. Now, I think I'm going to have it as a birthday. A little birdie told me it was your birthday. I thought that's quite good, because then it's a little birdie, isn't it? So I've got to find that in here. As I say, you can see if these have been, I have a light room. They're now in a darker room because they're in the hallway where I keep all my lots of stamps. But you can see these I've had for a long time. And even though they can discolour a bit, you know, look at the colour of those, they work absolutely perfectly. So, you know, it's once you've got your stamps, you've got your stamps for basically ever. There we go. Now I'm going to do this in the VersaFine because it's a nicer ink. But I've got to work out where I'm going to put it. I think I might actually, do I put it inside a bubble? No, it's going to go, I think it's just going to go there actually. There we are. A little birdie told me it was your birthday. And then all I need to do is to find a mount for the back of it, and I think probably I'm just pulling one out because I've got a bit of green that might work. I'd probably choose something different, but yes, that doesn't work at all, does it? That shout needs to be, in fact it probably would work best with black, because then it's not taking any of the colours. And I don't think, I know I haven't got one cut, so I'm just going to show you just the top part of one to just show you, yes, if I put it with a black mount like that, it will look absolutely lovely. So you'll see that on the front. So I hope you thought that was quite a fun idea. Not an original one, but as I say, you know, all of these things are out there to sort of see and gain sort of inspiration. And as I say, I thought, well, it'd be quite sweet to put some little birds on there like that, bouncing about. What I should do is, having just thought about it, looking at these, we need to sort of ground them a little bit. So let me take, I need to take one of the colours that is slightly darker, and I'm just working out whether I need to just take a little bit on here to just give a little bit of a shadow, or I probably should, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use it with pencils. Right, let me just get some, I've got some pencils out. I was using those the other day. So we need to have a shadow in on here to just make it look a little bit better. Now this is a dark purple, maybe a purple, maybe a, don't really want brown. I want something that's part of the colour. I think purple will work actually. Let me just take and see how, yes, I think it will. Okay, so I'm just going to take from where the bird is here, just going to take a little bit of a shadow just in on the top, like that. I can rub it in with my finger, but by doing that, it's going to come in at the same angle on each one. So this one is going to come in on here. And it's just going to come in over the top. And then on this little one as well, I'm using it right on the side because I don't want it to be overpowering. It just needs to have that little bit of a shadow that makes it look more realistic. There we go. Take that up in on the top, bring it down and take that in up on the top as well, like that. Like that. That's better. There we are. So now that I'm happy with that now, because they've now got a little bit of grounding on there and shadow, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. So hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.